Hey everyone, it's Daniel, Brother Barbarous. I'm back. Sorry for the long delay. I was in Iowa for my nephew's graduation at Coe College. Go Cohawks. So now I'm back and we'll get to video 12 and 13, which will be the last two in the series. And you should be good to go for your lab. So let's start with 12, all right? Where we left off, we're now on MDT 01. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a BGI info for our workstations. So remember we downloaded two different backgrounds, one for server, which was gray, and one for workstations, which was blue. So I'm just going to create that one for our deployments for workstations. So let's go to G share BG info. We're going to double click our BGI info BGI file, agree, click the time remaining button. Okay, we're right here. So I'll go here, click on background. On the wallpaper, you're going to choose 201, which is the blue one. Okay, we're going to go to the custom for the color. I'm going to choose the third from the top, which is this blue here. Okay, okay. Then I'm going to click File, Save As. I'm going to highlight this here, which is BG Info WS for workstation. .bgi. Save. You'll see it show up here. Click Cancel and close Explorer. Okay. Now we're going to open up Edge. Okay. Now I've created some files for you to download for your custom scripts folder. One is to set our DNS like we did in the first videos, our group policy, install BG Info server, install BG Info workstation, install cmtrace, the terminal, remove applications from Windows 10 and Windows 11, our server config, a WinRE text file, which contains the text for when we were doing our disk part in the first video, and then a workstation config file. Okay, so let's grab this link here, copy, paste it here, just like that. Give that a moment. There we are. Click download, save as. We're going to save to the desktop. There we are. And we'll close Edge. Okay. So we're right here. We're going to right click, go to 7-zip, extract here, just like that. We'll shift right click the zip file, hold down shift and delete so it doesn't go to the recycle bin. Now we're going to right click on custom, cut. We'll go to our D deployment share scripts folder and we'll just click paste. And then if you go in there, you can see that. So let me show you some of these. So I'm going to open these up in Notepad++. So highlight them all and open them up. We'll go to the beginning here. And first one, of course, is our DNS for Google, like we did in our first videos. Group policy, it copies that to the correct folder and disable the shipped with reserved storage and the UAC prompt for admins. Okay. cmtrace, it's going to copy it from the share to our syswow64 folder and sets those registry keys like we did originally. Install the terminal or upgrade the terminal for Windows 11. Okay, remove applications. So I set this so that it works for both Windows 10 and Windows 11. It's going to remove things like the Xbox game overlay, the speech to text overlay, Bing News, Zune Video, Windows Maps. If you want to keep any of these, you can go ahead and highlight and remove. And then what it does is for each of those apps in the app names, get AppX provisioned package and remove those provisioned packages for all users. Okay, so I'll remove that. Let's go here. Group policy. It's going to copy all of our group policy objects. BG info for server, then BG info for workstation, which we just created. Our server config for our services, our ping, our service pipe timeout 90 seconds, disable shipped storage. We're good there. Then this is our WinRE, which we did for extending our Windows RE partition. So this is just a text file that disk part will use. It'll select disk 0, select partition 3, shrink it to the desired size. Partition 4, it'll delete that. Then it'll create that primary partition, format as NTFS, and we're good to go. Okay, so we're going to set this in line. Well, I'll show you that here in our video. Okay, so that's what we did for our scripts folder. You can close that. Okay, now what we'll do is we're going to go to Windows Deployment Services. Okay, so Start, Windows Deployment Services, Expand Servers. We're going to click, then right click on here, click Properties, and we're going to go to the TFTP tab. Now, in certain instances, you'll see some people tell you to set the block size to 16,384, sometimes 8096, and I'm going to tell you that I've done a lot of testing, especially in VMware environments. The best I found was 1432 to 1456. Now this is the max that some of the VMware will use, okay? You can test block sizes in your environment, okay? So I'm going to read this to you, but it says for deploying using Microsoft Deployment Toolkit, utilizing a TFTP block size between 1432 and 1456 bytes is generally recommended to strike a balance between performance and reliability across different network conditions, with performance testing advised for optimal fit. Excessively large sizes, 16,384, like you've seen on some, may lead to increased packet loss and retransmissions, particularly on networks with high latency or congestion. WDS and Windows Server 2008 and 2008 R2 systems increased the default TFTP block size from 512 bytes to 1456 bytes to improve deployment performance. Okay. Now for my environment, like I said, I've tested with all of these and I found the best to be 1432. Okay. Now, enabling variable Windows extension. For most VMware environments, I leave it on. If there are other types of environments like Hyper-V, etc., sometimes you might want to make sure that you do testing on that, okay? I'm going to leave that enabled. What that does is enabling the variable Windows extension in TFTP can enhance performance by dynamically adjusting window sizes, not block sizes, window sizes, particularly advantageous in high latency or congested networks, but requires compatibility testing and consideration of file sizes for optimal effectiveness. Incompatibility issues could arise if one side of the transfer does not support VWE. Okay, so I would tell you that if you're doing this in a lab environment on VMware, this is the best you're going to do. Excuse me, from all my testing. If you'd like to test it out, just go through each one, do a boot, and test for your environment, like I said. But I know that on the forums for Reddit, you'll see somebody said to use 16.384. I'm going to tell you this could cause significant packet loss. So 8096 would probably be your best bet if you're just using the highest one you can use. Okay, so let's click OK. I'm going to go here and I'm going to right click on MDT01, click all task, and I'm going to restart that service so that those take effect. Okay, and then I'm going to close that. Now let's go to our deployment workbench. Okay, start deployment workbench. And now we're going to get to some applications. Okay, so let's click, then right click on applications. We're going to do a new folder. And this is what we're doing. We're doing 7-zip. Okay, so let's start here. So our new folder is going to be called 7-zip. Next, next, and finish. Okay, so now we've got our 7-zip folder. We're going to click, then right click it, and click new application, application without source files or elsewhere on the network, since we're using our file share. Next. Now, of course, the publisher is Igor Pavlov. That's If you go here to 7-zip.org, okay, and you go down to the bottom, you can see who created 7-zip, Igor Pavlov. So, okay, we're going to use that. Application name, 7-zip. Version, we're using 23.01. Language, EN, US. Of course, that's optional. Put whatever language you want. Next. Okay, now our command line. So if you want, open here the FAQ, and you can see how can I install 7-zip in silent mode, right? So if you go down a little bit, you're going to see all this information, right? And what we're going to look for, we're going to say find on this page, paste, and there it is. For exe installer, use the /S parameter to do a silent installation, and the /D for directory to specify the output directory if you want to install it somewhere other than the default. Okay, simple FAQ there. And you can find FAQs like this for pretty much any software. You can also, I'm going to show you later on how we can use Orca for MSI files, and we can also use a /? For some executables. Okay, so for right now, we're going to use this command line, which is the file name and a /S, not lowercase, okay, like it said in the file. So, and of course our working directory is our MDT share $7-zip. Next, next, and finish. And of course, it creates a weird name for you, which combines the publisher, etc., etc. So I like to change that. So a name, I'm going to go 7-zip. And for our short name, 7-zip in capitals. And I'm going to click OK. And there's 7-zip. Okay. Now we're going to do Notepad++. That's our next one. So click, then right-click Applications, New Folder, Notepad++. Next, next, finish. Click, then right-click, New Application, Application without source files or elsewhere on the network. Next, our publisher for Notepad++ is Don Ho. So you go to Notepad++, you go Author, and there he is, Don Ho. Okay, so I'll put Don Ho, application name, Notepad++, version, we're using 8.6.5, EN/US. Next, our command line. Here's another thing, our manual for this, right? And you can see installer options. The Notepad installer accepts 3 NSIS command line options. /S enables silent installation. This skips the installer's CRC check. And then, of course, for the directory, installation directory, we're just going to use the /S like we did with 7-zip, okay? So let's copy this command line, paste, and of course our working folder is in our share, Notepad++. There we go. Next, next, finish. And like I said, it created the Don Ho publisher name, everything. Excuse me. So we're going to type Notepad++, Notepad PP, and OK. All right, and now what we're going to do is we're going to do 7-zip. So click Applications, right-click, New Folder, PowerShell 7, next, next. Okay, click, then right-click, New Application, without source files, same thing. And this, of course, is Microsoft Corporation. And we'll call it just PowerShell 7. Version is 7.4.2, EN/US. Okay, and now for this, our command line, this is an MSI, it's a package. So if we go down here a little bit, you can see install the MSI package from the command line. You can see all of the properties that you can use, okay? And you can see right here, there's one that shows you all the properties, okay? But I'm going to show you also how you can find those properties in Orca. Remember, we installed Orca on our machine here, right? So let's click Orca, okay? Click File, Open, And of course, we're going to go to our PowerShell 7 folder, which is on our G share. Okay, open. Double click PowerShell there. We're going to click the checkbox table over here. And you can see add path is set to 0 by default. We're of course going to do 1 for that. Register the manifest, 1. Enable PS remoting, disable telemetry, add Explorer context menu, open PowerShell, add file context menu, use Microsoft Update, and enable Microsoft Update. Those two are by default. So you can see right here, I've created an MSI /package with our file name /quiet, and then each one of these I've added, add Explorer context menu equals 1, etc., 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 add path 1. So Orca shows you those check boxes, okay, which is great. So we're going to copy here this command line. We'll paste it right there. And of course our working directory. There we are. Paste. And we can close this window here. Next, next, and finish. Okay, and then right click, properties. We're going to change that name to PowerShell 7, and then in capitals PowerShell 7. I'm going to click hide this application in the deployment wizard because I wanted to be installing this application during our task sequence in a different area than where the install applications is. Okay, so click OK, and we're good there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create and I've used this if you've watched my previous videos, this is just a VB script that opens up a hidden shell window, okay, and it will run our batch file in a window that has 0 size, okay. So I call this hidebat.vbs. So let's go down to start, open up Notepad. I'm going to copy this line. I'll paste it here. I'll click Save As, and I'm going to go to our Visual C++ redistributable folder, just like that. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Here we go. We'll save it there. Save, just like that. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to browse to that folder in our share. So go down to Visual C++ redistributables. I'm going to right click here, PowerShell 7, open as administrator, and I'm going to show you how it will give you, so /VC _, and just type the tab key and it'll show the first one, space /?, and what this will do is it will show you what switches we can use with our executable here. And you can see setup help. So we're going to do an /install. If you had to repair or uninstall or layout, whatever, I'm going to do a /install. You can do either passive or quiet. I'm going to do a quiet, so /quiet, and then /no restart. You can also set it up so that it saves a log file. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to close that here, and close this window. So that's what I've done. And what we'll do is we're going to create a new file for our batch file called install bat. So right here, you're going to click the new file button. Okay, you're going to copy this, and I'll show you what this means. So you're going to put it in quotations. Now this %DP means the current directory, okay, in batch files. So what it's going to do is it's going to look for a file within its directory, DP0, just like that, okay? So this is in the current directory, and then the file name after that, /install, /quiet, /no restart. And since we had an x86 and x64 file, we're going to do both of them like that. So we're going to call that install bat, which will be called from our VB script up here. You can see install bat, which is in the current directory. Okay, so file, save as, paste that name, install bat, save, and there we go. So close Notepad++, and just to verify that they're there, we can go to our Visual redistributables, and you can see hidebat VBS and install bat. Okay, good there. And that way we can just call the W script and then hidebat VBS /B /no logo. And I'll show you how that works. So let's open up a terminal. You don't have to do this, but wscript /? Will show you. And you can see //B. If you're going to put it into a batch file, you want to use both //B, but we're not going to be using it in a batch file. We're going to call it from our thing. So we're going to use one slash. So /B and then /no logo, prevent a logo display or no banner will be shown by at execution time. Okay. So click OK and close that. We're good there. All right. So now we're here. So we're going to click, then right-click Applications, New Folder. We're going to copy this and highlight it so that we don't misspell it. Visual C++ redistributables, next, next, and finish. I'm going to click, then right-click that, New Application. Application without source files or elsewhere. Okay. And of course, this is Microsoft Corporation. So I'll highlight that, copy it, paste it. Visual C++ redistributables, copy that and paste it. It's a pretty long file version, which we saw on our Visual C++ redistributables page. And then we can type en-us here, next. And our command line, like I said, is wscript.exe hidebat VBS /B /no logo. Okay, I'll put that here. And our working directory. There we go. Next, next, and finish. And now we'll highlight this, right click, properties, and we're just going to rename it to Visual C++ redistributables. So Control V to paste that. I'm going to copy this for VC++ redistributables. And I'm going to short name there. And I'm going to hide this application because I'm also going to be installing this in a different portion than just the install applications. So click OK. All right. Now we're going to go down here to task sequences. Okay. So expand our task sequences. Client Pro. Click on that. Okay. We're going to click, then right click our Windows 10 Pro properties. We're going to go to the OS Info tab. And we're going to click the Edit on a 10 XML, which is going to generate our catalog. Okay, so click on that. And what we're going to do is going to wait for that catalog to generate. This could take about 5 minutes or so, maybe 10. So I'll be back when that's ready. Okay, and we're back. And our catalog has been generated. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go down to 7 OOBE systems for out-of-the-box experience. Go here at the bottom and click on OOBE. Now we're going to go to protect your PC. We're going to change this from 1 to 3. And I've placed this here. Now what this does is it turns off express settings so that it protects your machine and allows it to install the newest updates immediately, which is going to be handled pretty much by our WSS server. Okay, so we'll click that there, click Save, and now we're here. So we're going to click Yes. There are validation errors. Okay, now remember, this unattended XML system was created when Windows 7 was around. So some of these are not applicable to newer operating systems, just like this display. So we'll go down to color depth, double click on that, go up to display here, right click and click delete. Yes. Save again. Network location is deprecated, so double click on that. Go up to network location, right click, click revert change, and click save. And now we have no warnings or errors. Okay. We're going to verify that, and we're good there. Okay. So we're going to click exit and OK. All right. Now we're going to do Windows 11. Okay. Double click, OS Info, and same thing. Let's wait for our catalog to generate, and we'll be back in a moment. Okay, and we're back. Whoop, I just accidentally opened up Photoshop. Forgive me for that. Sorry about that. Okay, let's go here. OOBE system. We're right here. All right. Click OOBE. 3, save, yes, same thing, protect your PC. Double click on the first one here, go to display, right click, delete, yes, save, network location, right click here, revert change, save, and no warnings or errors, and we're good there. So file exit, okay, and now we're going to go to our server, okay, standard. We're not going to worry about the enterprise ones because we're going to be it's the same exact operating system. Same thing with our server here because our standard is going to be upgraded to data center. I'll show you that later on, okay? So double click here, OS info, edit on a 10, and we'll wait for that catalog to generate as well. I'll be back in just a few moments. Okay, and we're back, and now we're here at OOBE system. Down here, OOBE 3, save, okay? We're right down here, yes. You see this the specified setting disable SR does not exist. That's because the system restore is different. So we're going to right click on system, the AMD 64, click delete, yes, and save, yes again. Now we're going to go down to the color depth, go up to display, delete, yes, save, and then our network location is deprecated, right click, revert change, save, and now no warnings or errors. So we're good for all of our operating systems. Exit. Okay, and we're good there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to our Client Pro task sequence. Here it is. Okay. Now, I have a note here. Okay. We're going to double click on this first, right? We're going to go to our task sequence. Okay. Expand pre-install, install, and post-install on the task sequence. For each added task that we're going to add here, I want you to click the Options tab and the Continue on Error checkbox, okay? And I'll show you how that works. So, like I said, the pre-install, install, and post-install, I want you to expand them, okay? And now we're here on our task sequence tab, okay? And we're in the pre-install area, which is here. Now, right after the gather local, we're going to do a run command line. So we're going to go click on Add, General, Run Command Line. And we're going to call this Set High Performance Power Mode. Okay. We're going to paste that there. And the command is right here. It's power config, set active, and the GUID for that. Okay. Now remember, I told you for each action you're adding, go to the Options tab, Continue on Error, and then click Apply. And when you move your mouse away, you'll see it's set there. Okay, now we're going to go to the Enable BitLocker Offline. We're going to go to Add, General. This is going to be a set task sequence variable, which was here. We're going to call this driver group. And what this does is it's going to go to our out-of-box drivers experience folder. It's going to do a command to find the make, what operating system we're going to put for Windows 10 for this one, and then the model, and it'll automatically find that for you, okay? So it'll only install the drivers it needs for that make and model. So we're going to call this driver group 001. That's the task sequence variable. And for the value, we'll paste that there, okay? Options, continue on error, apply, and there we go. Okay, now for inject drivers, we're going to go on the drop down and click nothing. And for the apply patches, same thing, nothing. We're going to go here to the post install, which has a apply patches. Go here, nothing. Okay, now we're at the state restore. Okay, and right after the gather local only, we're going to do that same. We're going to do a remove network prompt. So general, run command line, okay? We're going to call this remove network prompt. So there we go. Copy the command, which is a reg add. Go to options, continue on error, and apply, okay? There it is. Remember our high performance power mode? We can actually go up here, click on it, copy it, and we can paste it right underneath that network prompt. It's the same command. Okay, there it is. Now, right underneath the opt-in, you see that here, okay, we're going to do a workstation configuration PowerShell that I showed you, okay? So that's going to set our services and things like that. So run command line. We're going to copy this workstation configuration, okay? It's a PowerShell, so it's going to run PowerShell with a Windows style hidden. Execution policy is going to be bypass, and the file is in our script root, custom, and workstation config. Okay, so paste that there. Options, continue on air, apply, and there we go. Okay, next one is our secondary DNS. So add, run command line, copy that, paste. Same thing, it's a PowerShell. We're going to copy, paste, options, continue on error, apply, and there we go. Okay, and this seems meticulous and monotonous, but what we're going to do is we're going to do this for this one operating system, and then we're going to copy this to our Windows 11 and other Windows 10s, and then we'll just change a few things and it'll fix that. And then when we get to our servers, we can actually open this up and copy from and to, and then of course add a few things that are server specific, and we'll be good to go. So now the setup, of course, does take a while to do this, but it's worth it in the long run, okay? So I know this is a process, but trust me, once you see the fruits of your labor, you'll be happy, and you only have to do this once, right? Okay, so next one, add, command line, remove feeds from taskbar. Okay, so paste that there. We're going to copy the command, options, continue on air, apply. There we go. Next one is add policy definitions. So add, run command line, policy definitions, copy this PowerShell script. There we go. Apply, and good to go. Install BG info for workstation. There we go. Add, run command line, and copy that, paste, apply. Okay. Now our CM trace, copy, run command line, install our CM trace PowerShell, continue on air, apply. There we go. Install the Windows terminal. There we go. Add like that. Grab this. Copy. Paste. Continue on air. Apply. Okay, the next one is install roles and features. So we're going to click add, down to roles, install roles and features, Windows 10, and .NET Framework 3.5. We're going to call this enabled.NET Framework 3.5. Options, continue on air, apply. Okay, good. Now install application. We're going to install PowerShell. So add, general, install application. We're going to click on install a single application, browse, go to PowerShell 7, click OK. I can highlight this, Control C to copy it, and then right after install, I can Control V, and then options, continue on error, apply, and I'm good to go there. Okay. So then this next one is we're going to do the remove applications PowerShell that I showed you. So run command line, copy this, paste it, and copy this command to remove our applications. Continue on error, apply. Good. Okay, and now we're going to do a restart computer. So general, restart computer. Okay, and we don't have to make sure that's continue it on air. Just leave that the way it is. Okay, now enable Windows Update pre-application installation. Go to Options, and under Disable the step, we're going to click that, click Apply. That way it's enabled, and that will get its updates from our WSUS. Okay, right after this one, we're going to do the Visual C++ runtimes. So add general, install application, continue on air, of course. We'll go to install a single application, browse, Visual C++, redistributables. We can highlight this, Control C copy, and right there, Control V paste, apply, and we're good to go. Okay, now install post application installation Windows Update options, and uncheck this disable the step, apply, and we're good there. Okay, now we're going to go to test custom tasks. So click on custom task, click add general, run command line, and we're going to set the power mode back to balanced from high performance. Okay, once we're done with our task sequence. Okay, there we go. Paste, options, continue on air, and apply. Good there. And we're going to do one more restart. So general, restart computer. There we go. And now we're going to click on enable BitLocker. And we're going to look at this checkbox. Wait for BitLocker to complete the drive encryption process on all drives before continuing the task sequence execution. I'm going to click that box, click apply, and click OK. And we're good. Now we're going to close our deployment workbench. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to browse to this folder. So you can highlight and copy that. Go to run, and there we go. You see these two files. We can say select all, copy, go to this control folder, and we're going to, we were just on the Win10 Pro, okay? And we're going to right click on the Win11 Pro, okay? So down here, right click and paste, replace those. And we can close this, and I'll go back to our Windows deployment workbench. Okay, and you can see if we double click on our Windows 11 Pro, go to task sequence, all of the things that we did on the Windows 10 are there, but we're going to have to fix a few things, right? So first thing is our driver group. Okay, so remember we set our driver group to Windows 10. All we have to do is go here, type 11, apply, and then install operating system. Click there, browse. You see how it says Windows 10 Pro, browse, Windows 11, 23H2, Windows 11 Pro, OK, OK. We can double click that one more time, and we're going to change where it says install terminal to upgrade terminal, because terminal actually comes with Windows 11, right? So let's look here. Here's install terminal. I'm just going to call this upgrade terminal, and that's okay. You can do that if you want. Move this up. Now it says upgrade terminal. I'm kind of anal when it comes to that stuff. Okay. Now we're going to go to our server. So server, we're going to go to our standard. Okay, we're going to move this to the right, and then we're going to go to our client pro again, Windows 10. I'm going to move this to the left. Okay, I'll minimize that part. That way we have them side by side. Okay, and so we're going to go to our task sequence folders, and like I said, you're going to do, sometimes this happens, so let's reopen the server one. Okay, I hate when that happens. It's just a visual glitch. Okay, so expand, pre-install, install, and post-install. All right, and now what we're going to do is we're going to copy a few of these over. So the first one is the high performance mode. Under pre-install, gather local only, and paste that there. Okay, we're going to go down to enable BitLocker, And because Windows 10 and Server 2022 share a kernel, they're going to share drivers. So we're going to use the Windows 10 driver group for our Server 2022. So click on Enable BitLocker and click Paste. There we go. Under Inject Drivers, we're going to go to Nothing and Nothing here. Okay. And then, of course, under Post Install, Apply Patches, we're going to do the same thing. Nothing. Okay. And now we're going to get to the nitty gritty, which is, of course, is state restore, right? So we're going to go to Gather Local Only, Remove Network Prompt. Let me put a T there, and I'll re-upload this file, but that's okay. So down here at the bottom, we're going to go Remove Network Prompt, copy, Gather Local Only, paste. There it is. Okay. The next one is we're going to set High Performance Power Mode. Same thing here. Copy, paste. There. Okay. Now we're going to go to opt-in down at the here, but this is our our disable Windows recovery. We're going to run our WinRE script for our disk part, and then re-enable Windows recovery environment like we did in our first video for our servers. Okay, so let's do that. So first thing we're going to do, General, run command line, disable Windows recovery environment, copy, paste. We're going to copy this command. Options, continue on error, apply. Good. Now we're going to go here to our disk part script. So add, general, run command line, copy, name. Then we're going to do our disk part /s for script, and then our script root custom WinRE text file that I showed you earlier. Options, continue on error, apply. And right after that one, re-enable the Windows RE environment, run command line, copy, paste, copy. Oop. Happens. That's okay. There we go. Options, continue on error, apply. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to remove the evaluation. Okay. So run command line. We call this remove evaluation. And of course, this is for server standard. When we copy this to our data center version, we'll change this command. Okay. There we go. Continue on error. Apply. Good. We're going to restart the computer after that. So add general, restart computer. There we are. And now the admin center pop-up we want to remove. So I'm going to go at run command line. We're going to call this admin center pop-up. Copy this command, which is a registry key. Continue on error. Apply. Okay. The next one, of course, is the server manager option. Okay. So there we go. And copy this. That's for the do not open server manager at logon. Apply. There we go. And then our server configuration, which was our services, etc., which I made that PowerShell script for you guys. Copy that. You can check out all of those in the custom folder, and of course change them to suit what you want. You're good there. Apply. Okay. Now we can get to copying. So add secondary DNS. So copy it from here, right underneath server configuration. Okay. The next one is to enable the audio service for the server. So run command line, enable audio service. So we're going to set the audio service to auto startup with the machine. Continue on error, apply. And of course we're going to start that audio service. So run command line. start the audio service, and net start audio serve. Okay. Options, continue on air, apply, and we're good there. Okay. Now policy definitions we can copy, of course. So copy right underneath start the audio service. Okay. Next one is install BG info for server. So we'll go add, run command line, copy. There we go. And our PowerShell for BG info serve. Options, continue on error, apply. Okay, and underneath that we can do CM trace. So over here, copy, paste. Next one, terminal. Copy it from here, paste. What's the next one? Install roles and features. So since Server 2019 was the newest for MDT, it still uses the same installer. So you just go to roles, install roles and features. On the drop down, go to Windows Server 2019, scroll down until you see our .NET Framework 3.5. There we go. And of course, we're going to call this Enable .NET Framework 3.5. Options, continue on error, apply, and we're good there. Okay. Install PowerShell 7. So add general. Actually, we don't have to worry about that. We can copy it. Copy it from here. Paste. Okay. And after we install that, we can do restart computer. Okay. And we're here. So we're going to enable our Windows Update pre-installation options. Click disable the step. Click here. We're going to copy this install Visual C++ redistributables. We'll click on that pre-installation, paste that there. And then the next one is Windows Update post-installation, okay, which is here. Unclick disable the step, apply, and we're good there. Now we're going to custom task, okay, and it's the same thing, set balanced power mode, so it's the same command. We'll copy it here, custom task, and restart computer, paste, okay. And the last thing we're going to do, enable BitLocker, click, and wait for BitLocker to complete, okay. Click apply, okay, and okay, and then we can close Deployment Workbench. All right. And now what we're going to do, we're going to go here. We're going to browse to our folder, Deployment Share, Control, Win10 Pro x64, select all, copy, back arrow. We're going to go to Win10 Ent, which is here. Right click on it, paste, replace. We're going to go to Windows 11 Pro, select all, copy, back. Then we're going to go to click on Windows 11 Ent x64, paste, replace the files. And now we're going to go to Server Standard, select all, copy, back arrow, go to the DC for that. There we go, for data center. Okay, and replace those files. We can close this folder. We'll go to Start, Deployment Workbench. And now we're going to go to our server task sequences. We're going to go to Data Center, double click on it, go to Task Sequences, and you should see all of our tasks from the original there. And all we're going to do here is we're going to change our remove evaluation so that it uses server data center instead of server standard. So let's go down and look for remove evaluation. We're going to highlight this entire thing and Control V to override that key code, KMS code. Click OK, and we closed the Explorer window already. We're good. We're going to right-click our deployment share. We're going to click Update Deployment Share. completely generate boot images. Next, next, and we're going to let this go through. Now, you should see your drivers from whatever WinPE drivers you selected. If you didn't select any and you were just doing this for your virtual environment, then you won't see any drivers, but you should see it mounting the Wim image. It's going to add things to your boot file and setting system root, scratch base, etc., etc. Our background image was changed, so of course we changed that ourselves, so that'll be done. It's adding the components that we did, which were DISM, WinPE, um, and of course PowerShell into that WinPE file. And once this is done, I'll come back and we'll continue from there, okay? As you can see, it's loading our drivers from our WinPE into that Wim. So I'll be back when that's done. Okay, we're back. The process completed successfully. We're good. Our Wim is good. So now we're going to close Deployment Workbench. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the Windows Update Catalog. We'll go here. Go ahead and paste that. Okay. And we're going to do a search. Okay. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm going to give you this little scriptlet here from line 709 up to 691. And you'll run this when a new update comes out. Normally it's on Patch Tuesday, which is the second Tuesday of each month, which will be for this month. You see the first Tuesday was the 7th, the second Tuesday is the 14th, so Tuesday will be Patch Tuesday. So there'll be new updates for this month. But sometimes Microsoft will release patches on subsequent Tuesdays, or they'll release emergency patches sometimes. You'll want to install those. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. Okay. So you see I have this here for a search, and I put XX here, and XX is for month. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do this for last month, 04. Click search. And we know that there was an update preview, cumulative update, which is right here. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to install that into your boot Wim. And then, of course, on Patch Tuesday, you'll find a new one where you put 2024-05 or whenever you're watching this video. Okay, and so we're looking for the one that says for x64 cumulative update. Nothing to do with .NET. We're just looking for the operating system. Okay, and we'll look for the newest date, 4/23. One was released. You'll see 4/9, and 4/9, of course, was Microsoft Patch Tuesday last month. So if you look, 9 was the second Tuesday of the month. Okay, so let's do that. So we're going to click on this one here, click download under this one here, okay, which is the update preview, 23rd. There we go. And you see what I did is on your scriptlet, I placed that file name. So all you're going to do is we're going to go to our share drive under Windows ADK for CU, cumulative update, and we're going to place this file. And of course, you'll change that file name every time you download the new file, and you'll run that. Okay, so let's click on that, save as. We'll go to our G drive, share, go down to Windows ADK, CU, and we'll just click save. Okay, and you give that a few moments to download. All right, and like I said, you're just going to change this file name. You'll copy this command, and you'll run this from PowerShell, and it'll update your light touch Wim file, which will then import into WDS. So close that, close that. Let's verify our files there. G, share. Okay, we're going to go here to Windows ADK, CU. Okay, and there it is. Okay, and you can see the dates on these, right? So we just downloaded this new one. All right, so we can actually delete the old one. So Shift, delete, yes, there we are. Okay, and now what we'll do is we'll right-click our terminal. we're going to go to PowerShell. We're going to copy and paste. And what that's going to do is first it's going to create a new directory called mount. Okay, it's going to create our path, source file folder path, update file path, and it combines those, joins the paths with the source folder and update file name. It's going to mount our WIM, which is our light touch WIM file we just generated with MDT. Okay, and then it's going to import that newest driver and slipstream it in to the WIM file. And I'll come back when that's complete. Okay. Okay, we're back, and that was successful. We're all good. Operation completed successfully. I can press enter for exit. So, like I said, just as with your operating systems, your servers and clients, as well as your software, you always want to keep that boot WIM up to date. So when a new Microsoft Patch Tuesday comes out, do a search, find that newest update, replace this line here, and run this once a month, then re-import your WIM into Windows Deployment Services, which is what we're going to do now. So click Start, go to Windows Deployment Services, expand servers, MDT Lab, click on boot images, right click, add our boot image, and of course we're going to highlight our deployment share boot light touch VBS, or sorry, light touch PE underscore x64 WIM. Next. Okay, that's good. Next, next, and let that go. This shouldn't take too long. Selected images were successfully added to the server, finish, and now we've got our boot WIM. Okay, we can close Windows Deployment Services, and that's that for video 12. The brunt of our work is almost over. The next video is literally just our deploying our server, test server, and our two clients, Windows 10 and Windows 11. So we're going to deploy a server data center version test server, a Windows 10 Pro, and a Windows 11 Enterprise. Okay, and I will see you in the next video. Talk to y'all later.